It's easy to hear your favorite artist on WFPK from wherever you are. Listen on your smart speaker, live stream from our website at WFPK.org from Louisville Public Media.
Consequence Podcast Network.
Hey, welcome to another edition of Kyle Meredith With. It's the interview series presented by WFPK at WFPK.org, Consequence, and the Consequence Podcast Network. Thank you so much, as always, for making your way here, checking out the series. You know what to do. If you like what you hear, if you dig this kind of thing, hit that subscribe button. I put out 3 new interviews every single week. It's a new one every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday to keep you up to date on your favorite artists, discover some new ones, know what's happening in the music world, talking about iTunes, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Acast, Podchaser, NPR, YouTube for the video versions, or anywhere you like to get your podcasts from. I'm Kyle Meredith. Today I'm talking with Jimmy Cliff about his brand new single Human Touch and the upcoming album Bridges. The reggae legend tips us on working with Tarrus Riley in the producer chair, reveals where his unending source of positivity comes from, and shares some stories about hanging with Muhammad Ali and Cat Stevens. Now, next year is also the 50th anniversary of The Harder They Come, the landmark reggae soundtrack. Jimmy's going to share his thoughts on why that soundtrack resonated so much with American audiences. So let's do this, discussing Human Touch. It's Kyle Meredith with Jimmy Cliff.
Blessed love, Kyle. Good to talk to you, sir.
Congratulations on the new single, Human Touch. I mean, what a poignant, great song that we're hearing about. And as I understand, this isn't a pandemic song. What brought this new one on?
Well, I wrote the song before the pandemic, and I was getting ready to put out the new album. And so the song was recorded in 2017, and I recorded a whole lot of new songs for the album. And we say, this song, wow, is appropriate for the time, even though it was recorded back then. And we just put it on the album. But let me ask you something. This is the Louisville, Kentucky that Muhammad Ali came from?
Absolutely true. In fact, he's resting not far from where I live right now. The graveyard that he resides at these days is just down the road.
Wow, Louisville, man! I'm so happy to be sharing the time with you, talking to all these people from such a great human being like Muhammad Ali. Let's continue, sir.
Do you have any good Ali stories? It seems like anybody that I talk to that's met him always has a great Muhammad Ali story.
Yeah, I have a great Muhammad Ali story. I was in Chicago, and I was invited to his home to, have dinner with him and his wife. And I was so excited because I'm a great boxing fan, but Muhammad Ali was really the greatest for me as a boxing fan. And when he walked in, I was getting up quite excited to greet him and say, "Okay, brother, take it easy." I sat back down, and it was the first place in the world that I ate with gold knife and fork and gold plate and all of that. I'll never forget that. But the great humor that he had, it's so natural. It's unforgettable. And that's what everybody, I think, remember about him.
It's absolutely true. The great humor and the positive messages that he put out there, which is what I was going to really say about you and your music, coincidentally. I mean, that's been a hallmark of your writing for so long. Where does that come from for you? How are you able to stay so positive with every message that you put out there?
I would attribute it to my father, my mother, my grandmother, but also to the hardship of life that I've been through. And so I couldn't go the negative way that the hardship gave me. I had to find a positive way out. Then when I left the country and I came to Kingston, I lived in a very hard part of Kingston, West Kingston. And so I had no choice. Well, I did have a choice. I could take the negative way, but I chose the positive way. Yeah.
And it's been so important. I mean, the way we hear these songs throughout the years. I mean, on one side, though, you know, the anthems and pleas that you've put out there for 50, 60 years are still so relevant today in ways that, you know, I think a lot of us wish they hadn't been. But we do turn to them for comfort, for solace. Especially in the last year, what was it like for you to see and hear a lot of these topics finally getting the front page in the way they have?
You know, with the COVID and all that kind of thing going on, I still kept my positive outlook. I have a song actually called COVID Virus, and I say COVID Virus, aliens among us. So I kept my positive way with all the outlook. And so this song came in very appropriate. I mean, Human Touch comes in very appropriate for the time that we're living in. I still want to soothe people and ones that miss their loved ones and all that kind of thing. So yeah, I keeping up with my positive frame of mind.
The album itself that will be coming along, this is Bridges, right?
Right.
Yeah. So what does the title symbolize this time?
Good. Well, it's the same positivity. Bridges is about what we need today, the way the world is, politically, financially, religiously, socially. We need bridges. And what people seem to be doing is burning the bridges. I want to build the bridges with love as the glue, as the cement.
You've worked with some great people in the past. I mean, are you able to talk about that? Who are you working with this time around?
Well, on the album, I'm working with a very good Jamaican singer called Tarrus Riley, and I work with as a co-producer and arranger, Dean Fraser. He arranged all the horns and some of the rhythms and all of that. In the past, I worked with people that I can remember collaborating with, like Cat Stevens. We did Wild World. It's a song that he wrote, of course, but they chose not to put my version out in America because we were on the same record label, and he was, of course, a bigger artist than myself. But I had fun working with him.
I didn't know about that part of the story, about just you getting shelved because, I mean, I know how the politics work at the record label, so I guess that's not surprising.
Yeah, but mine was a big hit in Europe and the rest of the world, except for the U.S.
Right.
Yeah.
I was reading in the press sheet that this next record is going to come on Jamaica's 60th anniversary as an independent nation. Is that a coincidence, or was that part of the story of making the album?
It's the company kind of chose to put it out at that time because you know, I kind of started my career just about the time when Jamaica got their independence, and so they thought it would be a good time to put it out. But it's also the independence of the anniversary, rather, of the Harder They Come. So we choose to put it out. I agreed with the record company to put it out at that time. Yes.
Yeah, that's 50 years for that landmark album soundtrack. What do you think? I mean, what does that album still say today that makes it still so relevant to people, that makes it connect so well?
I think it's because the first time that an album was coming out to the world at large, and they were able to see where the music is coming from the movie. All of that music was the life and liberty of the Jamaican people. The rhythms were created by Jamaican people. There were other songs before that were kind of hit, but they were kind of novelty hits. People did not identify it so much with Jamaica. And so with the movie and the album together, they saw where it all was coming from. So I think it was kind of fresh for the world at large.
Well, it still sounds fresh today, as does obviously the music that you're still putting out there. Human Touch couldn't come at a better time as an important song, and I cannot wait to hear the rest of Bridges. Jimmy Cliff, thank you so much for doing all that you've done for the world and for music over these past 50, 60 years, and thank you so much for taking the time to talk about it.
Thank you very much indeed. Blessed love to you and all of your listeners.
All right, take care. We'll see you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
My thanks to Jimmy Cliff. Again, the new single is called Human Touch, with an album called Bridges due to be on the way as well. Thanks to you, again, for checking out this episode. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you can keep up with the 3 interviews that I put out every single week, brand new and every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. iTunes, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Acast, Podchaser, NPR, YouTube for the video versions, or anywhere you get your podcasts from. Subscribe to Kyle Meredith with. After that, head over to WFPK.org. That's where I do a show Monday through Friday, 6 p.m. Eastern, an hour full of song premieres, music news, anniversary spins, bonus interviews. Monday through Friday, 6 p.m. Eastern at WFPK.org. Consequence has your music and film news. You can also find me on the social media channels, including Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. All 3 of them at Kyle Meredith. I do hope you like and follow along. That does it for another edition of Kyle Meredith. I'll see you next time.
Consequence Podcast Network.
Blessed love, Kyle.
It's easy to hear your favorite artist on WFPK from wherever you are. Listen on your smart speaker, live stream from our website at WFPK.org from Louisville Public Media.